Hello guys, welcome back to Mr. Cloudbook channel. Today is the day 35 of the Kubernetes masterclass, and in this video we are going to learn about the logs. I mean like how to check the logs and everything, because sometimes there will be a multiple containers and how to see the different logs for the each container. Okay, so we need to understand, because this is the one of the important question you will get in your CKA exam as well. If they ask you to separate the logs which is having the error in that particular line, you have to use this particular simple logs commands and you need to understand everything. So let's try to understand the logs first of all. So imagine you are walking into a full games. Okay, this is the one of the gaming PlayStation. So each one there is a one simple different games is there. Okay, like some three or four. So here each mission, okay, this is one game. Okay, think like this one, and separately, so this is the display where you play the game, and here you have the joysticks here like that. So simple options, and this is the display. Okay, so where you will play the game, and here there is a small hole is there for your coins to place the coins to play the games. So this is the gaming center, and in that gaming center you have one game, each game, and what there so many people will come right to play the games here. So what happens, not only one person will come, so many people will come. Okay, there will be so many players will be there right here. So not only one player will play the game, right, where so many people will play. Okay, so there may be some 100 plus of users are there. Some are playing the racing games and others are playing shooting games, and few are in the claw missions trying to grab the toys. Okay, so we have the racing games here, and next of all we have the shooting games is there, like arcane shooting. So these are the games they have, so many they have, but these are the mandatory. So now every game mission keeps a secret notebook. Okay, so this game has one secret notebook like this one, and this particular short game have one kind of secret notes here. Why I'm explaining in the note format means, so each game has the so many people will play, right? So many will play here this game and this game. So whenever the people comes and put the coin, okay, so he will enter his name and his data will be stored on this particular log. Okay, so how it will works? Okay, so who started the game, first of all who started the game, so his name will be there, and next of all it will insert the coin. Okay, this guy inserted the coin, so if he inserted one coin he can play 30 minutes. If he inserted again, so he can play for 1 hour. This is the way it will works. Okay, so it will store the all the data here. Okay, so what happening that during that game, so if one player is playing the game, okay, he completed the 3 laps. Okay, in the race car he completed the 3 laps in 1 minute. This is his best, right? So his name will be stored on that particular log and it will be updated on the screen. Okay, who is having the highest, I mean fast speed, completed the race within the 1 minute. Okay, 3 laps completed in 1 minute. So the data will be stored under here. Okay, so every data, even if he shoots something like 10 birds in 1 minute, that is also simple log, right? So everything will be stored under this book. Okay, so whatever the book that have for that particular game mission, it will be stored there. Okay, these notes are called the logs and they help to arcade the manager. Okay, so I know, okay, I am the manager of the of that particular playground, so I can see which player is playing the game and where when it started and how many goals he did, how many racing he did, like which lap he completed, how much time it takes to complete, and everything. Okay, so if the games are working well, okay, so I can say, okay, this is working fine and everything. I can see the logs. Okay, if there is an issue, what I will do is I will take this race game offline for a couple of hours to make it correct again, like to fix that one. Okay, so here we can use the logs. Okay, so we can see everything. If there is an error is there, okay, some person is buying something. Okay, you are having one particular application, cart application. So user is trying to buy some product here. Okay, you have the different products, 3 products. So he is trying to buy this one. Okay, one user is trying to buy that product. So what happened here, so there is out of stock OS. So he is not able to buy, right? So you have to see that error log. Okay, so there is an error. Why there is no stock? So that's why my particular product is not able to buy. Otherwise, maybe his card is failing. Okay, sometimes some cards will not accepted, right? Cards or someone is tries to buy that one, but he will keep in the cart as well. So every log will be stored under one book called that is logs. Okay. So if someone asked you, contacted you this one, so I am able to buy but not able to. So if someone says I'm not able to buy, and you need to go here into that logs book and you need to check why the customer facing the issue. So here you need to see the logs. Okay. So that is the important of the logs. And why do we need the logs means, so opens a secret notebook. Okay, see what's happening inside. Okay, if a player pressed the claw button and but the claw didn't move means there is a some kind of issue. Okay, if this particular person is trying to buy this one, okay, this product, but he is not able to buy because of it, there is a some kind of account is blocked. So there, but this guy doesn't know it. So we have to inform that particular customer your account is blocked. So otherwise we need to check why this particular, even if it's working fine, this guy account is working fine, he is not able to buying any particular products from your cart means, so there is an issue within your application, you need to fix that one. Okay, so in order to fix the issues we need to see the logs and why it's failing and how much time it's failed. Okay, sometimes you have the downtime for so much of time, you need to understand by seeing that particular log time as well. Okay, so found out what is the wrong and how to fix it, so it's useful for the fixing of your issues logs. Okay, how we have to check the logs. Okay, in Kubernetes you have to give the direct command called kubectl logs and you have to give the pod name. Okay, if you want to watch what happening, you can directly provide the kubectl logs -f and give the pod name. Okay, so that is the use case of the logs. Okay, we need to understand why we have to use the logs. Okay, so to fix the issues, to fix the issue easily, you have to read these logs. Okay, that's why we have to store the logs. I mean, like we have to store the logs, not about the secret information about the student. I mean, like the customer card information like that. It won't be stored here. Okay, in this logs. Even if you stored it, it's like the blunder you are doing. Okay, we don't need to do this. So we have to store the application logs. Okay, whatever the pod, if this pod is there, we have to store the pod logs only. So why this application is failing and everything will be stored under that particular logs and we need to read those logs. Okay, let's see the demo. Okay, let's see the running nodes. Okay, kubectl get nodes. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, let's see the running pods. Okay, kubectl get pods. So we don't have any, but we have this A. So if you want to see the logs for this control manager, okay, so you have to provide kubectl logs hyphen this one and cube system. So you have to provide the namespace here to see the logs. Okay, see everything whatever the log is there, it's we can see it from here itself. Okay, see every log is stored here. Okay, so we can see the application logs without any issue. Okay, so if you want to found only this one, okay, so cache, so you can just use this one also. So you clear the screen and you have to grep. Okay, so grep hyphen r which is having caches, enter. So it will give only that particular logs which is having the caches. You can see that these are the logs. Okay, and everything will be provided here. Okay, let's clear the screen and you can see the logs here. It's in nice way. So you can see the what is that replica set controller and everything. So let's clear the screen and check pods again. Kubectl get pods -a. Let's see the logs for the scheduler. Okay, this is the scheduler. So kubectl logs is the command scheduler -n cube system, and you can see that it's saying it's just created. Okay, there is an error here. Okay, let's try to see directly. Let's try to provide error, and you can see that we are able to found that error command. Okay, see authentication 370. This is the one, right? So in exams also you will get the same thing. Okay, grep error. So you have to redirect into one file. They will provide a file path also. You have to save it that particular error log into that particular file. Okay. So if I save here, if I provide cat1.txt, I can see that error log here. So this is how you have to store the logs. Okay. So I will run one single pod kubectl run nginx hyphen image equals to nginx. Okay. So if you see the logs, okay, kubectl logs nginx, see these are the logs. Okay, so what it's saying, it's starting the worker processors and everything. So it's starting the nginx. Okay, so it's using 1.273 because this is the latest version, I think. So it's starting the entry point and everything. Every log will be stored here. Okay, so what I'll do is I will clear the screen. Okay, let's see here kubectl get pods here. I have one pod, right? So let's create a multi-container pod. Okay, I'll do one single multi-container pod. I will use one thing, API 1.yaml. I will write a simple YAML file. Okay, API. I will skip this one. Okay. So this is the simple multi-container pod, app container, busybox, and sidecar container. Okay. So I am running the multi-containers here. Okay. So if you come out it, what I will do is I will apply directly apply -f1.yaml. Okay, and it's created. And if you see here, get pods. So it's running multi-container, right? And you can see that 2 by 2 are ready. And let's see 1.yaml once. Sorry, cat1.yaml. You can see that. So this is the container one, and this is the container two. So which is using app container and sidecar container. So it will having one particular command. Okay. So while true, echo app is running and sleep 5 and done. So it will do that one. So if I see logs, okay, kubectl get pods first of all. So multi-container pod, okay, kubectl logs. So I'll provide this one, okay, and you can see that it's saying app is running. But here you can see that defaulted container is app container out of app container. So it will show the only logs for your app container. Even if you provide, again it will show the logs for that particular container. But you want the sidecar containers because in the same pod we are running the two containers, right? So if you want that, you have to use -c and give this one sidecar content and enter. You can see that sidecar is processing the logs. And if you don't want for the sidecar, by default it will use the app container. Okay, if you want the specify the container, which container logs you want, if you want to specify, you have to specify like this: kubectl logs multi-container pod -c. You have to provide the container name here. Okay, so if you want for the app container, use the -c app container. If you want for the sidecar container, give the sidecar container. So the logs will be different. Okay, if you are running the multiple containers within the same pod, you have to use this one -c sidecar container. So if you are using simple one, okay, like nginx, and you don't need to give anything. So because it's running only one container, so you can give the container also. You can give this one like this nginx because it's running only one container. So if pod is running the multiple containers, you have to give this one, okay, kubectl logs multi-container pod -c. So whatever the container inside particular one, okay. So if you provide cat1.yaml here, so what is the name of that container? Sidecar container. So here we have to provide that particular name -c. So I want that particular container logs, okay. If you try to provide without -c, it will by default give the first container logs, okay. You can see that defaulted container. So it will always gives this one. So you have to provide -c and then it will give the logs for this particular container. So okay, this is the one way. So already showed it, right? Let's see kubectl get pods -a. So that is how you have to check. So and if you see here kube API control plane, so kubectl logs and give that one -n kube system. And you can see that there are so many logs will be there here, right? So if you want this one dynamic serving certificate controller, so you have to use this one. Okay, clear the screen. So you have to grab and use this. You can see that you are able to get that one. Okay, so in your CKA exam also you will get this particular kind of question. So grab the logs which is having the error. Okay, so here we don't have any errors for that particular part. But if you see for the scheduler, okay, so if you give this one, and I will directly provide cube scheduler here, enter, and you can see that there is one error here. Okay, unable to get config map, there is error, right? So you can give this one, okay, grep and error. So it will give that particular error log directly. Okay, so this is the one way. So because they ask the question like that, okay, which if they will give one pod, okay, check that pod logs and only grab the logs which is having the error in it. So you have to use this one command, okay. So kubectl logs, if it like that one pod name and -1. If there is a namespace is there for that particular pod, you have to give the namespace as well. Okay, and grep error and redirect into one particular file. Okay, so that is the one way. I already told you. So if you are having the multiple containers in one pod, you have to use the -c for the logs. Okay. So I hope you understand about the logs. Okay, how to check the logs and how to grab the logs and how to redirect into one single file as well. Okay. Thanks for watching the video and keep on supporting to Mr. Cloudbook channel.